want you to kick her some more. And I don't want you to let her get up. I want her so defeated, she doesn't move. And they're like, yeah, 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 yeah. They're all excited, like they cannot wait to ruin your day. Their whole purpose is to make sure you don't do any of this. Because if you don't do this, you don't save this person. So everybody needs to realize we're all in the same, we're all in the same situation. None of us are alone. We are all connected. Who you love, and this is the best way to put it. Because again, somebody here really needs to hear this right now. So you've got all your family and all the people you know and you love, and you're like, oh, look like Joe here. I love Joe. Mom's right here. My dad's stuck right here. My brothers, all these people. Okay, so then your spouse. Your spouse is here. Your children are all. But when we lose someone, you have a divorce or a breakup or a death, all of a sudden, that is gone. That energy is ripped from us. So now we have this huge place that we used to have someone, and it's empty. And what some people do is a rebound. And they're like, oh, you look like you fit in there. And you smash them in there, and you're like, I feel so much better. And they're choking to death, and they're suffocating because you're using them to make yourself feel better. So the best thing to do is when you have loss of any kind, you acknowledge why it's there, because it creates a physical pain. I love ice cream. Ooh, ice cream is good. We're going to put ice cream right there. Maybe you don't want to go this way. You want to just stuff it in there. I love ice cream. It's like alcohol, wine, ice cream, Doritos, cheesy ruffles. Okay, anyway, I love movies. Put them in there. I like to paint. So I'm going to stick that in there. I love singing. Ooh, that fits in there too. So what you're doing is you're looking within yourself to find all that you love about yourself, and then you fit it in. And now you're 100%. And that's what you have to realize is whoever needed to hear this today, loss is going to bring you down. You have to acknowledge it. You have to say, I feel depressed, I'm sad, I'm feeling this way. Then you have to figure out how to fill it in, because those guys, if they take you out, there's a whole bunch of different lives that are going to be affected as well. And that's their whole purpose, the whole point. All right. The black and white shirt with the glasses. Can you say hello? Yes. Yeah. Can you say hello for me? Oh, I love your voice. It's like so HR. Okay. You're like the person that is like, hi, what can I do for you today? Oh, great. You have awesome energy. You do have that HR energy because it kind of vibrated over to me, and it just is very open and welcoming and friendly. Huh? Yeah. You do what I do. Don't tell me anymore. Don't say anything else, because what I was hearing was you are more of an incarnate angel. Okay, so what that means is there are people that are among us, a lot of people that are among us that are old souls. There are people who are just kind of going about their way. We all have a purpose, but then there's incarnate angels. So at some point, you would have decided, I think I can do more work, better work, down there with them. So whatever life ago, you will cut off your wings and come back down here. So the thing with an incarnate angel is that you don't know how to say no. You go into service work, and you attract everybody that is problematic, that has issues, that is abusive or addicted, and you don't know how, you're like, every little lost puppy, come home with me. And you do that with people too. And so the thing about incarnate angels too is that I think the point is to let you know that yes, they're very highly attuned, and the trust that you have spiritually is already there. So it's really just honing that and using it. So if you're doing that, you're doing your work, you're doing your purpose. Putting that shelter and that protection around you is so ultimately important. With incarnate angels, You love people, you like helping people, whereas old souls are like, I hate people. But you're also in service work, so you're like doomed. I just like, your soul is telling me something really quickly, and I just want to listen and I'll explain what you're showing me. And you smell like oranges too. Like your soul smells like citrusy oranges, which is shocking because I can't smell oranges or citrus after having COVID last September. No, seriously, I can't smell it at all. It actually oranges and stuff. Now it tastes like that. The only way I can explain it, because my kid goes, how do you even know what that tastes like? It's those blue things they put in the toilet to sanitize like an outhouse. That's what it smells like. And my son's like, how do you know that's what those taste like? I'm like, no, it's how they smell. So for you, I was watching your energy, and you actually took me into your house. Now the house, again, I was telling you before, is way up on the dune. And it's a place that represents you specifically. Now your door, you don't even have a door. Your door is off, your windows are wide open, your windows are up, the curtains are pulled, clarification. And you go, okay, let's sit down. So you have a round table with 2 chairs, and we started serving you soup. Okay, I'm good with that. You are someone who wants to heal. You're doing what you should be doing. And actually, I don't think you're fully doing what you should be doing. Because you are also saying, well, I have to do this on top of it. So you really are going to have to cut one or the other, because you can't have 2 masters. You got to have one. And if you're going to master at one of them, you got to quit the other. And you set me down, you're barefoot, nobody's holding you back, nobody's saying you can't do that, that's stupid. Nobody's telling you any of that. So take it and go with it. I'm also supposed to tell you you are not an emotional eater. You're not, okay? I'm supposed to tell you you're not an emotional eater. Now, the thing about that is what you do, what a lot of the times what an incarnate angel will do, but what they're telling me is, because you sat down and you started serving me food. So my question is who or what is around you that is so toxic that they pull on your energy in a negative way every day, and then get rid of it? Bye-bye. I don't care who it is. Bye-bye. See you later. Very important. I don't think well, correct that. Let me put it in a positive, active voice. There is actually 2 things that you're going to be doing on top of anything like mediumship or clairvoyance or readings and stuff. There's something like work-wise, and then there is either a hobby or a stepping stone before you solidify the choice to go full-blown into reading. And so this looks more like this is a safety net or a tacit knowledge. I know you're like, yeah, so you're going to end up doing work, adding something else, and maybe it's like wanting the coach purse and getting a lookalike 5 times before you buy the actual coach purse. So you're going to work, you're going to have this little itty-bitty thing to try to ease you through that maybe you don't want or have to do this full time, but this is ultimately going to kick off, and you're going to go into complete passion work for the rest of your life, which is cool. Because that's what you should be doing, especially if it's God gave a gift. Gifts. It's in the Bible. Talents. Use them. Don't squander them. If you buy a gift for somebody, if you're anything like me, I'm like, I can't wait, I'm squealing. I'm so excited because I can't wait for people to open their presents. When I give them something, I want to see what they look like when they open it. So when God gives you a talent, I don't care if it's reading out loud, or speaking, or dancing, or singing, or coloring, whatever it is, open it. What is it? Share it. Multiply it. Give it freely. Give it as often as you can. I do these galleries, and the Opera House is making a lot of money tonight. And to be able to help its upkeep and to help the Fort Museum, they're making a lot. You guys really contributed a lot of money tonight for them to be able to do that. So that's awesome. Alpha Media, they're able to bring everybody in tonight. Thank you so much for that. But I also do a lot of free galleries for hundreds of people every year to share my gift, because that's what you're supposed to do. I don't care if you paint really ugly ducklings. If it makes people happy, you do it. And you give them away, here's your ugly duckling. Just do it. You're good at it. You do it. And if you're good at it, right? I'm really good at drawing an ugly duckling. Okay. All right. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. It's well, it's funny because energy kind of shoots out of your heads. Uh-huh. It's interesting that she was like, what? You're the next contender. Yes, sir. You have a Hershey bar there? You're like, yay for you. I would have too. But I can't because I go into a diabetic coma on the stage. Oh, you have a ministry. Good for you. And that's no, you need to just quit everything else and go into it. Absolutely. You know, it's funny because you don't have to go to church and talk to a pastor to reach God. You know, a lot of you don't realize that He uses you, that God uses you to minister to people all the time. You might be sitting in a bar next to someone and they're having a really bad day, and you just come up with the best stuff to say to this person. You know, you may be walking into a Walmart and be like, hey, how you doing? Here's the door. Have a great day. You're welcome. Okay. And all that person wanted was, I will stick around one more day if you have one person say hi to me. One person, and I'll stick around one more day. You just help that person to realize that maybe somebody's listening. Believe me, there's people listening. There's people everywhere listening. Let's see here. We have so many beautiful lights. Like, y'all look like a giant rainbow in here. It's really, really pretty. Like, your energy is also very intuitive and psychic. Like, you have a bright purple light that sticks out your head. Yours is actually blue, and it's more calm than anything. And yours is kind of like balanced out, where it's always trying to keep the peace, but you seem to attract a lot of people to you that don't allow it. So then you're like, oh my God, I have to fix this and smooth it out and make it better. And your light is very blue. Let's see what other colors so we can kind of nail some stuff going on here. I'm going to switch over to this. Yours is green. I think yours is green. Yes, your light is green, which represents physical healing and going through a physical healing. So what that means is that whatever you've got going on physically, Spirit wants me to tell you that will be healed, or that is happening as a healing. Now you also, okay, hold on, let me just back up a little bit. Okay, so you had COVID. And it affected your lungs a great deal, because what they're showing me is that your lungs towards the front, more on the left side, is kind of like really burnt red, which is where it would have affected you most, up to about right about the top of, or the bottom of your, well, right here. If I were to hit you right here, that would be, right here, that place that makes you itchy cough. This is actually very pocked, but it's being healed, and it's kind of growing its white blood cells all the way from the up to the top, so there's healing going on there. Did you quit smoking or something? Okay, so you should definitely quit smoking so that this will happen quicker, because that looks like it would have, quit smoking. Coming from a 3-pack-a-day person, I know you can do it. I know some faces here. Okay, I really for everyone, but I can't. Okay. You guys have some awesome energy. Okay, so I'm looking at the colors here, and I'm trying to figure out how this is swiveling in and out of you people. Isn't it weird? Of you people, I'm sorry. Of you guys. So, In the yellow shirt with the jacket, can you say hello for me? And right in the blue sweatshirt. Okay, it's for you, the blue sweatshirt. There's some kind of a reunion or some family gathering that you're going to be invited to or you're supposed to go to that it almost looks like it would be a reunion where you would be seeing family that you may not have talked to in a long time or have had a bit of a head-to-head with. So it almost feels like, if I go, is this going to be an end of a fight, or is this just going to be okay? And, excuse me, I'm being told to tell you to go in your best outfit, in your best attitude, and your biggest smile, and I'm not seeing anything happening. I'm seeing nobody trying to strike up a confrontation or a discussion, and it feels like it's related to somebody's property or an inheritance of some kind. It just feels like it's involving somebody else. And it's really out of your control, this discussion or this, I don't want to say confrontation, but families, we sometimes get in confrontation. The discussion will be really led by you. So whatever you initiate, that's the way the rest of the conversation and the time will follow. Somebody, a female, is also coming through as I'm talking to you who would have had a bad foot. It almost feels like a diabetic situation, like a wound or something on, it feels like right foot. So am I reading something for you too? Yes. For both of you? For you and for you. I'm connecting both of you? Okay. So let me separate you for a second. So you're the diabetic foot person. Okay. Let me get back up here to you. See what happens? She jumped in front of the reading. Sorry. Okay. Happens all the time. We can't control our energy all the time. So separating you with the foot part. It also, with family, with whatever this engagement issue is, I'm sorry for my back. You don't even have to stay the whole time. It almost feels like your presence is enough. It's more for you than it is anybody else. Because it feels almost like Spirit is saying that they will go with you gladly and help to strengthen. How do I put it? The right word is strengthen. Maybe the best word. But to help support you. Because as I'm following behind you, I can hear your heart going. So there's nervousness about it. And you don't have to explain yourself either. It's interesting because it's almost like you're going to see someone there that would actually instill these kind of feelings within you. Am I It's okay. So go to an invite. Make sure you go. Make sure that you go to the invite with family, regardless, and you look your best. And most of the time, all we really have to do is smile, and we can really look good at doing that. But it'll be over a hump for you. You'll majorly get over a hump with it. And you'll feel like, whew, I did it. Okay. All right, so now on to you. I was picking up the diabetic foot, and that was for you from the female coming through. The other aspect of that I was getting to is it feels like that part, whatever was happening, it almost feels like it goes up my leg and into my groin area, so I would be feeling that here as far as like lymph nodes or almost like my body's having trouble clearing something. So I would have maybe some cellulitis or some swelling, but it feels like it's my right leg. Is there a B around you or her? The initial B or an R, so it would be like a Roberta or a Bobby or something like that. And not around you or her, but I have to say it's an R or she wants me to acknowledge an R or a B. And hold on, go back up a little bit here. I'm going to take you with me here so I can get up so everybody can kind of see. She's talking a lot. She's talking a lot, so I just want to make sure I'm hearing everything from her. She's also showing me what looks like a lily, a white lily. So I don't know if it's a name or the actual flower. I think that's a lily. Yeah, orchids and lilies kind of look the same on the spiritual plane, but one or the other, but it's white. She is, oh, that looks like cheesecake. It looks like a cheesecake. And it almost looked like she's doing this with like a car. She wants me to acknowledge some kind of a car. You know, like a kid would play with a car. That's what she looks like she's doing, is playing with a car, showing me. And it looks like a bluish silver car. And then she's talking about a south trip, or going south, driving south, or heading south. So it's either you or her she wants me to acknowledge this southern trip. Is there somebody down there's a male down there that you would be visiting with or meeting up with, but there's a man down there that you'd be meeting up with. It's funny too, because she's showing like marlins, like those big fish. Well, not like Finding Nemo, but like a marlin, like the fan with the, that's right? That's a big fan fish with a pointy nose, okay. And a sword. She also wants me to tell you that she is, she talks a lot. There's a name with like a guttural G, and then it almost sounded like she said Jeff, but it was so fast that I don't want to acknowledge it. It was Pum, and I thought she said Jeff. She talks to, I thought she said Jeff, but I don't know if that's the right name, because it was very quick. Normally I'll wait for a name or someone for about 3 times to make sure that what I'm picking up is correct. I'm going to leave you with this one too. She's also saying make sure you stay dry. I don't know what that means. Make sure you stay dry. My grandma always used to say, don't forget your rubbers. Thanks, Grandma. Appreciate it. Check your boots. My grandma. Get your rubbers. Your friends are always like, that's funny. Okay. Let me hear this real quick. I heard something, so you want to see who they're talking about. It must be you, right next to her. Okay, there we go. Well, that's interesting because they're like, she's in the burgundy shirt, Rebecca. I'm like, here. You're right next to her. That was funny. Okay, so really quickly, this thing is falling off my head, but that's okay. So for you, what's coming through is I'm facing you, I'm standing kind of back, and you are right foot on the ground, left foot is on the very bottom of the mountain that you're about to climb. Now, it's funny because you don't actually have to climb the mountain, and I don't think you're going to actually, I don't think you will. Because there's also the option that's given to us that we can go through the pass. Like, you can go through the pass, there's food and wine and people, and who wouldn't pass that up, right? And you're like this, I don't know where. And what that means is that there is a difficult path that's being presented to you that is a solo journey. And that would be going to get a degree, or learning a new language,
accomplish. It's something that you accomplish alone. But you're not ready yet. You're not ready yet for it. And so what's going to happen is, although you are capable of doing it because you're ready, you can climb it, or he wouldn't present you with that. You look like this pathway that's here, and it's okay to do that. If when we're not ready to do something, we know it. We'll stand there and go, okay, I really want to do this, but I don't know if I'm ready, or I know I should do it, but I don't know if I am capable just yet. And so we go through a process every now and then that, like I showed before, we kind of go around in a circle, and that state, if it's meant to be, it will continue to present itself to you as an opportunity. But it's a difficult path. I mean, as you're climbing the mountain, you're going to scrape your knees, you're going to get banged up, you're going to break your nails. And it looks like you're like, okay, I think I'm just going to walk this one. And that's okay. And that's what Spirit wants you to know, is this is something that is going to come back around to you. I can also tell you that when we are provided those difficult paths, it's something we should do. So consider that, because again, it's a free will decision, and it's important. Now, it's interesting, because if I pick you up, it's fun. When I'm bringing people, I will pick you up by the back of the shirt, and then I will drop you on your beach. And how you land and what you do is very important to the reading. So when I do that with you, because I need to know a little bit more about what's going on here with you in this mountain, when I pick you up to drop you, you kind of flail and you're like, put me down, and that's okay. There's too much, your brain is really wanting to think a lot. It's over-processing, and it's over-logical sometimes. So what that is saying is, when you're deciding something, well, when anybody is deciding something, but specifically for you, okay, this makes sense. This is how to do this. This is good. This is logical. This is rational. How do I feel about it? How does that make me feel? Well, it's logical, but I hate it. It's logical, I have no fun. It's you have to balance those things out. Same thing with like, oh my God, I gotta have this, that gotta have so much. But does it make any sense? No? Okay. You have to balance things out between your mind and your gut and your heart and your soul. And as I'm picking you up and dropping you on your beach, you're like, I don't want to be on the beach. And what's important? Beach is safety, security, and grounding. This is normally where I'll start a reading with everyone. In this circumstance, I'm not allowed that. I kind of have to go where your guides take me. The fact that you don't want to be on your beach means that your life right now is not how you want it. You want change, and you're not sure how to do it. So I would start with looking at whatever is difficult in front of you, this path that's creating change in your life, and I would go for that. You may not be ready for it, but just know that you're not going to turn it down and then later regret it, not have an opportunity. Life changes like that are this serious, they come back around for you to opt into again. Just ask your guides, what do I do? How do I handle this? One of the most fun things to do is to completely act not like an adult. And let it go, let it go. You know what? The whole fact is actually let it go. It's such a cliche anymore. But seriously, if you're to a point where like, I can't do this anymore. I can't deal with this, I can't deal with that, I can't deal with that. Pick them up and go, that's for you now, because I'm done. You just have to do that once in a while, an adult. Just do it. How many people do you know that you just want to try it? It's fun for the heart. It makes you laugh. I know a couple. I once said that I wish my ex-husband at the time, it was a long time ago, I wish my ex-husband would get run over by a truck. And someone I knew said, well, he would if you just read one. No, it's plausible deniability. Okay. All right. I'm trying to get around him, and he's like, no. I'm just keeping up with each other's spot. Okay, so I'm going to come to your house for Thanksgiving. because you smell good. So, all right. Did you guys come together? Okay. All right. You do. You smell really good. You have like roast beef and gravy and mashed potatoes. No, you smell delicious. Like you have like everybody comes to your house and it's like you know how to cook right, and there's just something homey and squishy, and then after you're done, you get to go sleep on the couch. That's how I feel about you. Like when your energy is just like, oh, come on over, I got pie and coffee. I haven't made it yet, but if you come, I'll make it. But you have this lineage thing. So you have a female who's coming over in that has what looks like 3 other women around her. So there's 4 of them all together. And they would be a tier up from you, so this would be probably mother, her sisters, and possibly grandmother. So 4 of them all together. I'm 5'7", standing next to them. They're a little bit shorter than me, just a little bit. Very, what do I call it? Very proper. She's very proper. She's even standing, like holding her hands because she doesn't know what to do with her hands, so she's kind of fidgeting a little bit when she's like holding her hands. And then she's like, stop it. She just nudges me. There's an L that comes through around her. I'm not sure if it's for her or you, but an L initial comes through. Now, let me correct that. Because when I'm looking through dimensions, if I'm like doing a remote view or I walk through a layer, sometimes things will mirror. So I'll see it over here, but in actuality it's over here. So it could be a J, so it could flip like this. But she does remind me of like flowers and fields and gentleness, and she reminds me of like just holding a cat for hours and doing nothing but stroking a cat. There's something calm about that. This made me think of really something stupid, but I might as well explain. There was like a scene in the Little Rascals, like the old Little Rascals, where Steiny was like, I don't really know, there's only one way to pet a cat. It just made me laugh, but I didn't even think of that. All right. That's what my brain's like going off in many different directions. But I see her just sitting there looking out the window, and what she's trying to convey is happiness.